Sometimes the simplest stories are the ones that hit the hardest, right? The ones that go viral online and just stick with you. Well, today, we're going to pull one of those stories apart and see what makes it tick. We're going to figure out what makes it so incredibly powerful. Let's dive in.
Okay, so it all kicks off with this line. Bam! That's the hook. It's so simple, but it does so much, doesn't it? It gives us a character, a huge constraint, he's only got $3, and then it promises a twist. I mean, how can you not keep reading? This one sentence is the engine, and we're about to look at the whole machine it powers.
Every truly great story needs a solid foundation, a good setup. This is where we get to know our main character and what's at stake for them. And honestly, the way this story does it is just incredibly efficient.
We don't even get a name, no big backstory, just a tired delivery rider. And that's absolutely brilliant. Why? Because he's instantly one of us. We've all been tired. We all know what it feels like to work a long, hard day. You immediately feel for the guy. His vulnerability is right there from the jump.
And then you see this. $3. Wow. This is where the stakes just become crystal clear. That number is just so potent, isn't it? It's not just money. It's the absolute bottom of the barrel. It's everything he has left. It grounds this whole story in a struggle that feels completely real. And this little detail just drives that point home. He's not buying anything fancy. He's just trying to get enough fuel to keep going. This one small action tells us everything we need to know about his situation without spelling it out, and it perfectly sets the scene for the drama that's about to unfold.
All right, so the scene is set. We get our character, we get the stakes. Now it's time to introduce a problem. This is what we call the rising action. It's the moment the story's engine really kicks into gear.
And there it is, just 4 little words from a young boy. But this is the moment everything changes. It's a direct, simple, and powerful plea that throws our hero right into a moral dilemma. He literally can't just walk away from this.
Oof, this is such a key moment. That pause, the hesitation. He doesn't just act right away. By telling us he froze, the story lets us see inside his head. We can almost feel the gears turning, feel the weight of the decision he's trying to make.
And just like that, the story turns the question over to us. It puts you right there in his shoes. What would you do in that situation? That tension, that moment of indecision, is what makes his final choice so much more impactful.
Okay, so that brings us to the climax, the big turning point of the story. This is where our character has to face that central conflict head-on and make a definitive choice.
Just 2 words, that's all it takes. But man, are they powerful. This is the moment he resolves that internal struggle we just saw. It's a completely selfless choice, and it just instantly releases all that tension that was building up. It's just beautiful, concise storytelling.
And this is the heart of it right here. Hungry, but smiling. Think about that for a second. That's such a powerful image. It tells you everything you need to know, that the good feeling he got from helping someone else was way more filling than the food he gave away. This is that key emotional beat that really connects us to his decision.
So, now we're in what's called the falling action. The big decision has been made, and now we get to see the consequences play out. And in true classic story fashion, things take a very surprising turn.
Here we go. The reveals start coming fast. This is the first piece of the twist, and it totally flips our expectations. Just like the writer, we're suddenly sitting here thinking, wait, what just happened?
The story is so smart here. It uses the writer's own question to build that suspense just a little bit more, right before the big, satisfying reveal. It's a perfect little cliffhanger. And there's our answer. A stranger saw the whole thing. And this line is so important because it directly connects the reward to the writer's selfless act. It wasn't just some random luck. It was a direct consequence of his good character. It feels earned.
And here's the payoff in numbers. A tenfold return on his investment. He gave away his last $3 and got 30 back. This gives us a really concrete, satisfying measure of the reward for his kindness. It just makes the lesson of the story feel complete.
And that brings us to the resolution. This is where the story's deeper meaning, its theme, is finally spelled out for us, giving us a really clear and satisfying takeaway. I love this. The theme isn't presented as some vague, abstract idea. It's defined as a direct lesson that was learned from the events we just watched unfold. It's practical, it's powerful, and it's memorable.
And this is the actual closing line from the original story. It just wraps up the entire emotional journey perfectly. That little heart emoji, it's a small thing, but it reinforces that warm, fuzzy feeling the story is meant to leave you with. A perfect way to sign off. So here we are at the end, left with this really great question. What is it that makes a story like this so powerful? Well, as we just saw, it follows this timeless recipe, right? You've got the setup, the conflict, the big climax, and that satisfying resolution. It's a formula as old as time, and it works because it taps into things we all understand: struggle, sacrifice, and the hope for reward. It just goes to show you, you don't need a huge, complicated plot. Sometimes all you really need is a story with a whole lot of heart.